CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us on this Thursday. Arson and mischief charges have been laid after a fire in Sault Ste. Marie in January. A 48-year-old woman was arrested Tuesday in connection to the January 25th fire. According to police, the blaze sent 3 people to hospital, including the accused. The investigation revealed the fire had been deliberately set and displaced all tenants. Now to the weather, double-digit highs in some communities today and more sunshine. So how long will it last? For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman.
Another day or so, Tony. Then we've got some rain on Saturday to spoil the weekend. So what more can you expect? We've got cloud, we've got some drizzle, we've got some sun and cloud, and combination of factors that are going to be taken into account this weekend. And for those of you on the negative side, some flurry activity Sunday. Your first take on weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. Here comes a system that's going to shock us all come Sunday. Some flurry activity and some cooler weather come Sunday heading into Monday. Details just minutes away. Tony?
Thanks, Rick. French River declared a state of emergency late yesterday afternoon. It was the first northern community outside Manitoulin Island to do so. French River providing this footage to CTV News of extremely high water levels in the Noëlville area and flooding around the culvert. Late last night, the municipality learned the request for emergency resources had been granted by the province. Sandbags are being offered in both Noëlville and Albin.
I've lived here for decades, and I've never seen the water go up so high in April. And there's still lots of ice on the river. And the other thing that's concerning is the amount of snow coming in from Timmins and some of the other northern regions that the waters come down to us because we're at the end of the watershed.
And CTV's Angela Gemmel will have more on the situation in French River tonight at 6 o'clock. And today, the township of Chisholm, southeast of North Bay, also declared a state of emergency. In a post to Facebook, the township saying a quarter of the impacted area is already underwater. Residents are advised to take care on roads and avoid waterways. Flooding can pose many dangers and health risks, and Public Health Sudbury Districts has some advice for those living with rising water. CTV's Alan Everson tells us more.
Just anything anybody talks to.
70-year-old John Wright has lived in this house for 20 years. He has no heat right now after water flooded his basement on Tuesday.
There's between 3 to 4 feet of water in the basement, and for some reason the sump pump kicked back on again. It was stalled out or something. There's too much water coming in.
The water flipped his washing machine upside down and damaged almost everything in his basement, soaked with dirty floodwater. He says the stress of it all sent him to the hospital.
It was very nerve-wracking.
Public Health Sudbury Districts is urging people to be aware of the hazards posed by flooding.
Flooding in basements can affect your appliances, such as furnaces, your electrical panels, freezers, things like that. So immediate safety would be first and foremost.
Wright knows firsthand the hazards of flooding and is appreciative of some assistance.
The fire department was very helpful that way. They came in and then they unplugged all the electrical stuff and turned the furnace off.
Public Health says there are also health hazards, from contaminated food to sewage in floodwater.
With sewage, effluent, E. coli is primarily, obviously, the main concern. However, there's a cocktail of bacteria and viruses that could be found within that, and so just any sewage contamination should be treated like a biohazard.
Wright is upset. Flooding is a regular spring occurrence on Caruso Street.
We have ice jams on the creek. They could take the ice jams away, but they never do. It's been happening for years.
Public Health is asking people to check on those affected by flooding because of the hazards and the hardships. Elena Everson, CTV News, Coniston.
And officials at Public Health Sudbury District say there is information on the website about flooding, health risks, and dangers. It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, though, we are heading to Gillies Lake in Timmins. This live webcam is courtesy of that city. It's 15 Celsius. We're back in a few minutes.
Country 91.7. Sudbury's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Hope you're having a great day for today. Heading into tomorrow, we've got some better weather, not as much precipitation. Forecast radar, this is the system that's coming in by early Friday morning. And again, it shouldn't be that bad a day in terms of, well, some drizzle, maybe some rain, and then some clearing skies. Temperatures not as high as we first expected. Someone expecting 18 degrees in Greater Sudbury. Not so fast. It might hit 13, 14 if we're lucky. Let's check out some of the numbers. Sudbury Nickelbelt, some cloud, then some sun cloud. 14 degrees. Voila, here we go. Showers on Saturday at 11. Chance of flurries all the way down from 11 to +1 on Sunday. Like, what's up with that? Then only 4 degrees on Monday, some sunny skies. Chance of sleet 40% come Tuesday, rain or showers. So again, 9 degrees. Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, cloudy skies for tomorrow. Then it might perk up later on in the afternoon at 12. Chance of sleet Saturday at 6. -1 Sunday, chance of flurries. Sunshine Monday, only 3 degrees. Then it starts to warm up a bit. Tuesday, some sun and cloud and 8. I know Amanda was pretty optimistic last night about some of the temperatures for the next couple of days, but big change in the forecast from Environment Canada. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. Chance of flurries at 11 tomorrow. Showers on Saturday at 11. -2 Sunday. Periods of snow. Okay, Monday we've got sunny skies and only 2. Sleet on Tuesday, 60% and a high of 7. Temiskaming Shores and Kirkland Lake, drizzle, some sun and cloud tomorrow, 14. 12 on Saturday with the rain. Chance of flurries, well, 60% there. -1 on Sunday. Monday, 3. Chance of sleet Tuesday at 8. Not the greatest of forecasts, but it will get better down the road. North Bay, West Nipissing, drizzle cloud tomorrow, 17. Showers Saturday at 14. Chance of flurries on Sunday at 1. 3 degrees Monday. Well, you've got the sunshine to be thankful for. Tuesday, chance of sleet at 60%, only 8 degrees. Talk about a big change. You ready for some flurries, Tony? That happens on Sunday going into Monday. Back to you.
Not really. Thanks, Rick. All the flooding on Manitoulin Island prompted the evacuation of a shelter. CTV's Madison Merrier reports.
The creek that runs along Wags Road Trail travels underneath Forest Road. However, with the accumulation of rain and snowmelt, it has taken over the road and Manitoulin family resources.
We had to evacuate because of extreme flooding, and we had approximately 5 women and children in shelter with us at the time, and so everybody has been safely evacuated.
The impact extends beyond the shelter, with many residents in central Manitoulin experiencing flooding in basements and city streets.
Our community municipal staff have just been working around the clock, and volunteers are coming out of the woodwork and doing whatever was needed.
People were reaching out immediately. What can we do to help? How can we help? We want to help. And so we are incredibly grateful for that. And our staff has been outstanding and have totally stepped up and have done an incredible job ensuring everybody's safety and that we continue to serve the community.
The shelter shares a space with the Manitoulin Family Center Food Bank, which has also been temporarily closed along with the road. But Hill says they'll be back supporting the community tomorrow in an alternate location.
We are all offering emergency food hampers in front of the municipal building here in Mindamoya during our same food bank hours. So we will be having emergency food hampers for the community tomorrow from 10 to 2 p.m.
It's always good to see people working together and a common cause and everybody working towards a common end, and I think it's been great. We've got a fantastic crew here, and everybody's doing their bit, and we will, like I say, we will get through it.
It is unclear when the water will dry up, but people are hoping to get to repairs and return to normalcy as soon as the weather permits. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Mindamoya.
Algoma Public Health is participating in a study aimed at tracking the development of young children across the country. CTV's Corey Nordstrom has more on some of the local results.
Algoma Public Health has released early findings from a study tracking the development of youth 0 to 6 years of age.
Data helps us diagnose what's going on, what's wrong, where are the areas of strength that we can build on, and where are the areas of need that we need to pull resources together for.
Among the areas outlined in the Ages and Stages questionnaire that were cause for concern in the district, communication and social emotional, where over 10% of children were viewed as at risk. The data released today shows a snapshot of the 0 to 6 population in Algoma, with 466 children assessed. Officials say there are still thousands more to get to, and in order to do so, they've increased the number of staff able to do these screenings.
We went from 30 people trained in doing these screens to over 140 today. We went from, just a few sites offering screening to now over 46 sites.
The experts say that intervention at an early age is a relatively new concept, and decision makers can have a difficult time committing money without concrete evidence.
We don't really look at developmental monitoring until children are reaching kindergarten, at which point we've already missed that opportune time, that 0 to 6 window when brains are the most plastic, they're the most responsive to external influences, to early intervention, where we can put in, the least amount of effort but get the greatest change, the greatest return on investment.
Decision makers, though, don't want to make decisions on allocating resources based on what might be nice to have. What do we think might be good for our kids? No, they want to base their decisions on evidence.
The data has been shared with other early childhood service providers who will use it to inform the work they provide going forward. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
He served King and Country coming up on CTV News at 5. We head to North Bay and meet a World War II veteran who is celebrating a milestone birthday. Tomorrow is World Hemophilia Day, and for a 9-year-old Sudbury athlete, the diagnosis no longer means staying on the sidelines. CTV's Amanda Hicks has that story.
Go, E, go!
9-year-old Easton Velsich doesn't spend much time sitting still.
I like playing hockey, riding dirt bikes, skateboarding, scootering, biking, and a lot of other things.
It's a reality his family once thought impossible. Easton was born with severe hemophilia A, a genetic disorder that prevents blood from clotting, where a minor bump or bruise could become a medical emergency.
Watching my dad grow up with it, although I saw how much he struggled with managing his hemophilia himself, so I figured it'd be the same for Easton. How he'd be treated differently. Would he be able to go to daycare? Would he be able to do all these things kids do with no issues?
Historically, red light sports like hockey were strictly off limits, but treatment has evolved. Easton lives a largely typical life, requiring a single injection every 2 weeks.
I didn't think hemophilia would come this far with the treatment, and I'm really playing only the more dangerous sports now.
There's always a helmet, there's always elbow protection, no matter what he does. And personally, I don't think he's really missed out on much.
Health Sciences North's hemophilia program provides lifelong care for families across Northeastern Ontario. The program's clinical lead says in the last decade, the outlook for patients has completely changed.
There's been huge advancements. People were not able to, they would be in hospital for days when they had a bleed into their joints. And now we have prophylactic treatment where they can play sports, they can do the things that regular kids can do, and adults as well.
Sudbury's water tower will be lit in red tomorrow night for World Hemophilia Day. It's a mark of how far treatments have come. Advancements, Velsich says, has allowed her son to live a life without limits. Amanda Hicks, CTV News, Sudbury.
A celebration was held today in North Bay for one of the last surviving Second World War veterans. And as CTV's Eric Tashner tells us, the 100-year-old was honored with a special display of his medals.
Morris Jackson is proud of a lot of things: his good friends, air in his lungs, and his accomplishments. But one thing he's extra fond of is being a Canadian veteran.
I'm proud of what I did.
Born in Sherbrooke, Quebec, and moving to North Bay in 1980, Morris recently turned 100 years old in January. At his birthday bash, he met Jerry Furlot from the Legion, who was asked to make a display of his service medals for him.
Mr. Jackson actually said he would pay for them, but I didn't want to do that because
he's a veteran, and we try to help our veterans out as much as we can.
Seeing the display for the first time,
That's wonderful.
a moment of joy.
Unexpected. It's just wonderful.
Morris enlisted as a wireless radio operator at a Newfoundland station manned by the Royal Navy before the Royal Canadian Navy assumed command of it. His job was to send and receive messages from ships out to sea.
Everything was coded and then sent to the decoding people for the whatever action had to be taken.
After the war, he served as an Army reservist stationed at the Armory, but it was his journey to a century of life that continues to amaze him.
Something you only do once in your life, I guess. The secret is don't die.
Morris had the chance to celebrate the special day with his close friends.
You couldn't meet a finer gentleman if you tried. He's always got a smile on his face.
He's a great guy. We have laughs, joking around, and we was always talking about the sports.
His message to the next generation, find ways to serve your country.
I would encourage other young people to do the same thing.
A life well lived.
I have no regrets.
For this jubilant senior, Eric Tashner, CTV News, North Bay.
What a great story. The NOJHL final kicks off tonight in Sudbury. The Sudbury Cubs are looking for a three-peat as they've won the last two championship titles. The Timmins Rock won the title 3 seasons ago. They will begin their best-of-7 battle tonight at 7:05 at the Countryside Arena. In the OHL playoffs, in North Bay's Parker Vaughan tied up Game 4 last night to end the second period. The third would be nothing but heartbreak for the troops as the Brantford Bulldogs score 2 goals, one in an empty net to take the game 5-3 and the series. There is just one northern team left. The Sioux Greyhounds are trailing their series against the Kitchener Rangers 3-0. It's do or die tonight for the Hounds on home ice. Puck drop is 7:07. To the Basketball Super League, and the Sudbury Five continue their playoff run. They are taking on the Kitchener Waterloo Titans tonight at the Odd in Kitchener at 7 o'clock. AI-driven scams when we return our weekly Tech Talk segment. You're watching First at 5. It had such a successful launch that officials at the Public Library in Sault Ste. Marie are doing it again. This time, the North Branch is hosting How to Recognize Artificial Intelligence-Driven Scams. And to tell us more, let's bring in Melissa Jakomek, Technology and Change Strategist. She's hosting the session again next month, and she joins us right now from the Sault. Hi there, Melissa.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
I'm doing well. Are AI-driven scams harder to detect? And if so, how do fraudsters draw you in?
Yes, they definitely are, and that's why we need to talk about it. So AI doesn't necessarily create new scams, but what it does is it makes traditional scams much more believable, much harder to detect, and creates the ability for fraudsters to run them at scale. So the most dangerous fraudsters use AI to impersonate people that we trust, to put relevant but fake content in front of us in a timely manner, and to communicate flawlessly in a personalized way and pressure us to act before we might verify the source. So most scams, I'd say they succeed by manipulating human emotion. And because AI tools can make them very personalized to people's real life situations, that human emotion is so strong. So they're consistently using fear and urgency and authority to push people into doing something that might result in financial loss or identity theft.
And how do you avoid being duped into those voice cloning or phishing emails?
Yes, voice cloning, phishing, and deepfake videos are so tricky to spot, especially when they include trusted people, government officials, celebrities, or even people in your own family. And that's what AI allows people to do now with scams. So AI has enabled fraudsters to make things look more real and believable. And so if something seems urgent and important, that's one of your cues to pause. AI-enabled scams, they try to rush you by creating fear or authority so that you act right away before you verify sources. So definitely pause. Another thing you can do is be careful of messages that sound very polished, but that come out of the blue from someone you don't usually interact with or in a format that you don't usually see. So although scams sound calm, professional, and well written, they usually don't match what you would expect from a person, whether how they communicate or what they would contact you about. And so I'd say never act directly from a message. So whether it's a text, an email, an ad that pops up on social media, never click that and act directly, put information in. Always go to an official app, website, or contact method that you know is official before putting any key information about yourself in.
Melissa, thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony.
Melissa Jakomic was our guest, and she was in Sault Ste. Marie. By the way, seating for the event on Saturday, May 2nd in the Sault is limited, and you can register now. And to see more of our Tech Talk segments, head to our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. Our first community close-up comes to us from Mindamoya on Manitoulin Island. Jean Brown of Eastern Ontario returned home on the weekend for two historic events. The first was a grade 1 reunion of classmates who attended the Mindamoya Old School. The event was held at the Manitoulin Espresso Coffee Bar. She also attended the closing of the Trinity Manitoulin United Church. Thanks so much for these pictures, Jean. And we're off to West Nipissing. Diane Tremblay sent us this video of the fast snowmelt and all the rain. Check out the waterfall. Thanks so much for that, Diane. And a cute picture was emailed to us from Karen Miller in the greater Sudbury community of Hanmer. She says she had to take down the bird feeder early due to these raccoons. Filthy bandits. Thanks so much for that, Karen. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6 o'clock. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.